$600 billion is primed and ready to flow into Bitcoin. The days of cheap Bitcoin are truly numbered with this much money ready to enter the market. Big money investors are taking an interest in Bitcoin like never before, especially as the fiscal policies of central banks continue to move us closer and closer to the danger zone. Highway to the danger zone. Central bank style anyway. Also, Polka Starter is finally launching its MVP, so I want to take a quick look at some of the new projects that are listing on their service, and Orion is at last launching their super powerful trading terminal, so make sure to stay around until the end of the video to learn about that. My name is Lark, and this series subscribe for all of the hottest and all of the latest happening out here in the crazy markets and the danger zone. Okay, so let's talk about Bitcoin to get started off with. We are currently chilling over $19,000. We have just had a bullish breakout on the 4-hour charts. Now, the implied target for this breakout is around $19,900. If Bitcoin can conquer the key resistance at $19,450, then yeah, we can make a run at that big daddy resistance at $19,900, which will, get us really to that point where we can finally crack $20,000. We've been rejected twice already at $19,900 during this, big run for Bitcoin. A rejection again, probably a likely scenario, but man, if we get that break, then it is game on for sure. This is the price we need to see break, because once we crack $20,000, it's clear skies above that. Bitcoin can move real hard, real fast. It's a big psychological number for us, and it's really going to flip on the bull switch for a lot of people. Anyone whose bull switch is not yet activated anyway. So we'll see how this breaks out over the next 24 hours, but we should see at least coming up to test that area of resistance. Okay, now on to the news. Today, JP Morgan was again shilling Bitcoin. It seems that they have the need for Bitcoin, man. Obviously, screw JP Morgan, screw those guys. But what they said is that the purchase last week by Massachusetts Mutual of $100 million worth of Bitcoin is a sign of things to come for Bitcoin. Their analysts see a further $600 billion flowing into Bitcoin if pensions and insurance firms in the USA, the European Union, the UK, and Japan allocate just 1% of their assets to Bitcoin. Now, this is just another reminder that we are standing on the beach just looking up at like 100-meter high tsunami of institutional money, which is about to flood into the market in a very serious way. And no, it's not going to all come at the same time. That's not how it works. But that money is coming. It's starting to trickle in. These stories are adding up more and more all the time. And to be clear, $600 billion, which is almost, double the current market cap of Bitcoin, it's like chump change to these guys. They're dealing with so much money on a regular basis. $600 billion is a lot, but that's just the kind of investor class we're talking about here. And that's just one of these investor classes. In total, there are trillions which could enter the market if the world's hedge funds and family offices and all those other, big investment classes put only 1% into Bitcoin. We don't even need all of them, just, a plurality of them. The narrative around Bitcoin as digital gold is catching on very quickly, especially when we see facts like this post here shared by Sven Henrik. Now, the M1 money supply in the United States increased by $210 billion in the last week of November. In the third week of November, it increased by $500 billion. The total M1 money supply in the USA has increased by 65% since the start of the year. But that's what's going on, man. That's crazy. I mean, just look at the chart here that he shared. This is a monetary crisis of truly epic proportions. These are not normal happening. The insanity, of course, really started back in 2008, the global financial crisis. As you can see, that's where the money supply really started to head upwards. But 2020, what an insane watershed year this has been for fiscal irresponsibility. This is money printing on steroids, with the steroids taking their own steroids. It's just nuts, man. Stan Druckenmiller's call for 5 to 10% inflation, that might have even been too conservative. Even though, a few months ago when he said that, it seemed like, wow, that's going to be pretty crazy, Stan, if that actually ends up happening. Now it's like 5 to 10%. Let's hope it stays that low, man. Holy cow. And of course, what is coming next? Well, More money printing. All the governments are getting in on the scam. The ECB in Japan have just announced as well that they're going to be doing massive money printing programs in the last week. So more money's coming for everyone, basically everywhere. More inflation, more money printing. Fiat currency is facing its biggest existential crisis ever. This is exactly why investors are starting to take an interest in Bitcoin. We're living in one of the most just wild and insane financial periods in human history. Madmen are running the central banks. They're gambling with entire economies. And the only answer is to, of course, print more money. And they've got these guys behind them, which are the markets, totally addicted to more. They need more money to keep going all the time. So it's your daily reminder to buy Bitcoin to ensure your future financial freedom from all of this craziness. Billionaires and companies are buying Bitcoin at the current prices. That should tell you a lot. They're not in this for a quick 10% gain or something like that. They're in it for the long haul. As always, follow the money. Okay, let's talk about altcoins. Our old buddies over at Polka Starter are finally launching their MVP this week. And by the way, Polka Starter also been on just a crazy run in the hype up leading up to that launch, but you know, obviously the Polka hype is real too, just around the whole Polkadot ecosystem. Bullish, obviously, and the whole Polkadot ecosystem. Personally, going into 2020, I think it's gonna be massive. Polka Starter, just one of the many. Anyway, the launch of the Polka Starter MVP comes with 3 launch pads being announced. So we have Royale Finance, SpiderDAO, and MahaDAO. Now, the 2 most interesting ones, in my opinion, are SpiderDAO and MahaDAO. Now, SpiderDAO is being launched by a VPN company that's already a profitable, real company called Spider VPN. Thus, Spider will basically be offering, their VPN service using a decentralized network. But the idea is that this will be the first hardware-backed DAO, which will bring together both hardware and software to make a whale-resistant governance solution. So that's pretty interesting. The platform will also allow for the monetization of bandwidth. Spider is also going to be obviously based on Polkadot, so they're going to be tapping into the Polka hype machine. There will also be some liquidity mining rewards coming as well, with about 60% of the supply given out to the community over the next 5 years. So that's pretty interesting. There's quite a bit of hype building right now around SpiderDAO on social media. Obviously, it's not the first guys looking at using crypto and VPNs together, but certainly their governance structure is very interesting. Now, the second project which took my interest is MahaDAO. Now, this is a new kind of stablecoin, but unlike most stablecoins, it will not be dollar pegged, but instead pegged to a basket of diverse and anti-correlated assets, including, but not limited to, things like Bitcoin, gold, and bonds. Essentially, what they're doing is creating an inflation-resistant stable coin. Now, this would put Maha in direct competition with Reserve Protocol. The big difference, obviously, being is that this is, a tiny market cap when it does launch, whereas Reserve has already been around and quite established themselves. The idea is certainly interesting too, and much like Reserve, it will have a 2-token model, one being the stablecoin, the other being the governance token, which is, if you're an investor, that's the one you want to be looking to buy. Maha has already teamed up with Matic and Elrond. The public sale for MahaDAO is happening in 2 days for those of you who might be interested in getting into that sale. Anyway, for me, I think it's really just great to see Polka Starter starting to make this strong launch of their MVP with all these different projects, interesting projects, of course, coming to their network. So that's pretty cool to see. And since we mentioned Elrond a moment ago, we have to mention, of course, too, that their e-gold token has been an absolute tear this week. It seems that people are starting to wake up to Elrond and the absolute beast of an ecosystem that's out. And also, one of their ecosystem partners is launching their product this week, which brings us on to the final topic of today's video. We're going to be talking about Orion, who is finally releasing their exciting trading terminal and who is also sponsoring today's episode. Now, if you are not familiar with the Orion Terminal, this is the first gateway to the entire crypto market. So from one terminal, you can basically aggregate every centralized and every decentralized exchange, one decentralized trading platform. So it's an all-in-one kind of stop. Their liquidity and order book depth and trading pairs all designed to make it a one-stop shop for traders. So you're no longer going to need to hop from one exchange to the next exchange, trying to find the best prices or different pairings and all that stuff. You can just have one terminal that allow you access to all that stuff. You'll simply be able to get the best price at the lowest fee for thousands of different trading pairs, all while staying in control of your private keys. Now, the trading terminal is actually going live tomorrow, but I'm going to show you now how to use it, as the team has given me a sneak peek of what they're doing. So like any decentralized application, you can of course connect to Orion in just a matter of seconds using your MetaMask wallet. Then you simply navigate over to your dashboard to make a deposit. Now, the experience is a lot like using a decentralized exchange, except that Orion gives you access to all of the exchanges. Now, you can see here in the video what the interface actually looks like for the ORN USDT pair. You'll see that highlighted on the right-hand side of the screen here, the different prices of the assets on different exchanges, including the negative spread for arbitrage opportunities for the different trading pairs across exchanges. And that's pretty damn cool if you ask me. Now, in terms of executing a trade using Orion, it's super quick and super simple to do, since you already have deposited your funds to Orion. All you need to do is to sign the transaction when you want to make a trade. So that actually eliminates the gas fees. Now, the interface for Orion is also nice and clean, very familiar feeling in its layout, so it's not going to be a big learning curve to be able to use Orion's terminal. The terminal also includes a swap functionality. Now, this is a swap tool across the entire crypto market with almost zero slippage, which is a big, big deal. If you've been using a lot of the current exchange offerings, slippage can really hit you hard sometimes. They're also going to be offering limit orders on here. Now, it's important to note as well that this is just the first iteration of the Orion terminal. The next few months we'll see a load of new features being rolled out, including more trading pairs, more exchanges, the ability to stake the ORN token, using the Orion terminal. Now, a quick word too on the ORN token. It's needed here as well. So stakers will receive discounts on trading, as well as benefit from generous staking rewards. Those staking rewards are actually fueled by 16 different revenue sources. So a whole lot of ways that Orion is actually making money and then fueling that back to token holders. New tokens are also never minted, and they're really focused on actually removing tokens from the circulating supply, including burning all licensing fees for their business-to-business products, such as their Price Oracle, Liquidity Boost plugin for exchanges, all that stuff, which is going to be going live in 2021, making this a very interesting token to actually hold as well, considering the revenue stream potential of it. Now, if everything goes according to plan, then the terminal will actually be fully functional in early Q1 2021, with even more additional features to be added to the terminal next year, including exciting stuff like lending, margin trading. We're even going to see leveraged ETFs. There's going to be derivative products. There's going to be contract trading. There's going to be NFTs even available on it. Staking really of any digital asset type as well. So it's going to be really just an all-in-one kind of shop for crypto traders and investors. But you don't have to wait long to use it. You can actually start using it tomorrow. I know there's a lot of Orion fans in the audience, so do make sure to try out their trading terminal. Use the link down below in the description of this video to go ahead and check it out. They'll take you over to their terminal where you can play around with it and enjoy the trading experience. Anyway, your question for today: do you think that Bitcoin has a chance to break $20,000 this week, or are we going to get rejected again when we kind of move up, hit that 19,900 level? We're going to come back down. Another rejection coming for Bitcoin, or is this finally it? Are we finally going to crack $20,000? Let me know your opinion down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.